the idea of this kind of platform, MIPAD, that aims to showcase the contributions of people from African descent all over the world is hugely personal to me.
It's with pride and honor that I am a person of African descent.
I've made it a priority to engage Africa's young people. That's because Africa has the highest percentage of youth population in the world.
So when I was asked to look back on my journey at MIPAD, the first thing I did was to look at pictures and to look at the publication. For example, this was the first one we did in 2017, and on the cover we had Lewis Hamilton, Usain Bolt. This was the year he became the fastest man in the world. 2017 we saw Peace Hyde, if I remember, and Diamond Platinum. And some of the other names that were really memorable from 2017 is LeBron. So you see that our honorees over the years have moved them from strength to strength, or also maintained their global top dominance of Black excellence in whatever field they exist in. 2018 was a very special year. That was the year we actually filmed the biggest movie in the world at the time, which is Black Panther. We actually did a private screening at the United Nations for Black Panther. Some of the other amazing 2018 honorees that jump out for me are people like Dee Nice, who was working at the State Department then, and today she's actually working at the White House as Executive Director of President Biden's Advisory Council on Africa. You have the likes of Pedro and Tubosa, who today they are now the Secretary of State and the Minister of Digital Economies in their respective countries in Cape Verde and Nigeria.
Such an honor to be awarded as one of the most influential people of African descent under 40 years old. It's important for us, a new generation that can change the world, that can change how people perceive our continent and how people perceive Africa. 2018
was also the year we hosted our Nigerian honorees at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I remember that speech that was given by Adizer. Today she works with the president of Nigeria, overseeing the performance of all the people on the cabinet. 2019, we only had 100 people, 100 honorees, I remember that. 100 from inside Africa and 100 in the diaspora. It was the first year that we had a consolidated list featuring just 100. And then for the first time in 2019, we had an honoree from Pakistan, right? From Pakistan. Why is that important? Whenever I ask that question about where do the largest population of people of African descent live around the world, the first is Brazil, the second is India and Pakistan. It felt good to see that MIPAD was bringing together people of African descent from all over the world. We didn't even know each other existed in all of these places. And then COVID. Oh my goodness, COVID. I remember thinking, no recognition year, no New York, because every year we flew into New York. All our honorees from all over the world came for their global recognition, and COVID hit. But to my surprise, 2020 was actually one of our biggest years because it was virtual. Everybody was able to log in from all over the world to be a part of the recognition ceremony. And that was the year that CNN came on board as our strategic partners. So it was just great to have them, their technical skills to help us coordinate this global conference online, the greatest gathering of people of African descent from all over the world.
For me, I guess it just really, I would love for it to be a reflection of what we see when we step outside of our doors. So if I'm coming into a school, if I'm going into a restaurant, I want to see Black business owners. I want it to be highlighted in that way, because if we don't use our platforms to do so, then we're going to continue painting this picture of this image of we can't do it.
That takes us to 2021. That was the international year for the creative economy as declared by the United Nations. So we created the most influential 100 creatives of African descent, featuring powerhouses like Ava DuVernay, Burna Boy, and also that was the year with Tokyo Olympics, right? Global Black excellence finds another expression.
Thank you for presenting me with this award and naming me one of the most influential people of African descent in 2021. I truly appreciate it. That dog barking in the background appreciates it. If I'm honest, I feel like this is an award for all the stories we've told throughout all our seasons of United Shades of America. We always try to highlight diversity and tell diverse stories, and we also try to hire diversity behind the camera, because that's how you tell the best stories.
The next generation of leaders, encouraging them, empowering them, and put them in the right places to essentially be better versions of themselves, better leaders within the organization.
Moving to 2022 was the year we focused on the Law and Justice edition. Right, because the second pillar of the International Decade for People of African Descent was justice. 100 of the most influential in the legal space. Interestingly enough, that was the year Ketanji Brown became the first female, right, Black female in the U.S. Supreme Court. Livia as well, Livia Vaz from Brazil, positioned to become the first Black woman, Black lawyer in Brazil on the Supreme Court. As well, recognized Brian Stevenson of Equal Justice Initiative, Benga Oyebode from Nigeria. It was just a phenomenal year recognizing great legal minds of African descent. 2023 focused on healthcare, and that was the year the WHO celebrated the 75th anniversary. And coincidentally, the first person of African descent to lead the WHO, Dr. Tedros from Ethiopia and Eritrea, was our 2023 Lifetime Achievement Award recipient.
I would like to thank MIPAD for honoring me with this award, which I'm deeply humbled to receive.
And also focusing on healthcare, we had big names like I from Nigeria, who oversees the Africa Global Health Coalition, getting the private sector to support in the healthcare space. So 2024, my final year as the inaugural CEO, and also celebrating the end of the first international decade.
Join us as we celebrate a decade of global recognition, honoring our 2024 Global Top 100 honorees. This year's inspiring editions include the 100 on the 4th team, the 2024 Special Editions 100 Futurists, innovators and change makers supporting the United Nations International Decade for People of African Descent.
So this year is quite significant for me, right? Because I'm passing on the baton, having the futurists who are going to lead us into the future. Looking forward to an amazing team. I can't wait to see what they get to do with this global platform that we've created to connect people of African descent from all over the world.
I'd like to thank MIPAD for recognizing my contributions over the years.
And I would like to take this opportunity to thank MIPAD for not only recognizing my achievements, but the achievements of all persons of African descent under 40 living around the world.
I'm greatly honored by MIPAD for recognizing my contribution to my country and to my continent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God.
Thank you, MIPAD.